So you may or may not know this, but there are people making 6 and even 7 figures a year from ebooks. And I've personally made over $500,000 with just one ebook, and I've made over 7 figures over the years from all of my different ebooks combined. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people that have been packaging their knowledge inside of digital ebooks since 2007. And ebooks still successfully sell to this day. People are always wanting to learn new information and overcome their problems. In fact, my most recent ebook makes me around $7,459 per month on autopilot. And the best part about an ebook is that once you've sold it, it's now delivered. You don't have to do coaching calls or follow-ups or one-on-ones or anything like that. You can truly create that ebook one time, sell it an unlimited number of times, and you're not directly trading your time for money with every single person who purchases it. So in today's video, I want to share with you how to come up with your own profitable ebook idea, how you can create it in 24 hours or less, and different ways you can sell your ebook online for passive income. So let's get started. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a broke college dropout. This was my car with just 81 cents to my name, and I leveraged that into a multiple 6-figure per year photography studio. Then I started to create free content and paid digital products online for other photographers, and I grew that into a $2 million per year digital info products business. And now I help content creators and aspiring content creators just like you to grow and monetize your following with digital info products so you can help your followers on a deeper level and make a full-time living doing what you love. When I first heard about ebooks, I was completely blown away. I knew that this was the answer to my problem. I knew that I could now share all the information that I had inside of a digital ebook to share it with lots of people and make unlimited money on autopilot. Previously, I had been doing coaching and workshops and really directly trading my time for money. So this was the solution that I was looking for. But truthfully, the first ebook I made was a complete flop because I made an ebook that I thought people wanted to buy and not based on the data of what people were actually willing to spend their money on and would actually purchase. In fact, one of the very first ebooks that I created was about posing for photographers because that's what I thought most people needed help with. But to be honest, it was a complete flop. So I started talking with other photographers to really start to uncover what was actually their number one pain point. And I learned very quickly that their number one pain point was not, in fact, posing. In fact, it was how to book more clients. So I quickly got to work creating an ebook from my number one strategy that was working for me at my studio for booking more clients. And I turned that into an ebook that I called Model Call. Now, this ebook not only made some sales, it made sales to the tune of over $500,000 for the years that it was for sale. And when I later decided to pivot to what I do now, helping content creators monetize with digital info products, I was actually able to sell the IP for Model Call to another educator. And so I was actually able to make money from that as well. And the ebook was able to live on and continue helping people as well, even after my pivot. So now I want to take you through my detailed 3-step framework for how you can come up with your own profitable ebook idea, how you can create it in 24 hours or less, and different ways that you can actually get sales for your ebook online. And if after this video you want even more details on how to create and sell your very own digital products online for consistent passive income, I have a brand new free training that is the first link in the description below this video. All right, here are the 3 parts of the 3-part framework that we're about to dive into. Number 1, how to come up with your profitable ebook idea. Number 2, how to create your ebook in 24 hours or less. And number 3, how to sell it online for passive income. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're like, an ebook sounds cool, but maybe you're curious about all the other different types of digital products that are out there so that you can choose the one that's right for you, I have a list of all 54 different types of digital products for free in the link below this video. All right, let's talk about how to come up with your ebook idea. Now, the absolute best way to go about this is with actual data, actually asking your ideal client what they're actually struggling with. So for me personally, the first thing that I would do once I grew my email list to a minimum of 100 to 200 people on my email list, I would send out a survey using Google Forms, asking people things like, what is your number one struggle? What do you think I could help you with? What is your niche or your business or whatever it is, depending on your niche, to really dial in deep and figure out what it is that they're struggling with. And it's important not just to pinpoint a problem, but their number one problem. Because the more painful of a problem that you can solve, it's going to be a lot more easier to make sales with that because people are going to have urgency around needing to purchase that to solve the problem they have right now. Now, if you don't have an email list, I would recommend going to groups or forums where your ideal clients are, and you can ask them questions there. You can even go so far as to set up Zoom or Google Meet calls one-on-one or in a group setting with these ideal clients to really have conversations with them and dial in deep to what their problems are. Now, remember to always lead with what is in it for them. So if you're going to take up their time asking them questions, maybe you could offer them a Starbucks gift card in exchange or something like that. All right, now let's talk about how to create your ebook in 24 hours or less. Now, the most recent ebook I created it in less than 12 hours. So I know for a fact that this is possible, but of course, if this is your first time ever creating an ebook, it might take you a little bit longer. But I do want to give you a word of caution that if it ends up taking you longer than a week, you're probably overthinking it or procrastinating or being a perfectionist, and you really just need to ship it, get it out there, and you can always reiterate and improve it later. All right, so the first thing I do when creating an ebook is I map out where's my ideal client now and where do they want to be? Like, where do they need to be at the end to have solved their problem, the problem that they're actually purchasing the ebook for? Then I look between those two pillars and I create bullet points of all the big steps and milestones that they need to overcome to get from where they are now to the end goal of the ebook. Then what I do is I come up with a title for my ebook, and I personally like to use ChatGPT for this. I like to come up with a couple titles on my own, type them into ChatGPT, and then say, hey, ChatGPT, can you come up with 5 other similar titles to this one? This will help you brainstorm and come up with a title that's right for you. Keep in mind, the shorter the title, the better, and the title should depict the actual result that they're getting. So if I was creating an ebook for helping photographers make money, I would want to call it something like Profitable Clients or Get More Clients. Model Call actually wasn't really a great title for my ebook, but I didn't really know what I was doing that much back then. For example, one of my courses that helps people create their own profitable courses is called Profitable Courses. It's short, it's sweet, it talks to the result that they're going to get, and is perfect. Then what I do next is I actually write out the ebook. Now, obviously you can use ChatGPT to assist you with this, but I personally like to just write out the ebook myself. I don't overanalyze. I don't expect it to be perfect. I just write a draft. I'll go to a coffee shop and just write every single bullet point. Then once I'm done, then I'll use ChatGPT to sort of clean it up or make it more fun. I'll enter all the text into ChatGPT and say something like, hey, ChatGPT, can you make this sound more like a millennial or more like Gen Z or more like a comedian wrote it? Whatever it is you want to say to just sort of get a little bit more personality and fun into the writing. Lastly, what I do is I go into Canva and I make a design and I copy and paste the text from the document into the design that I've made. Then once I have it designed exactly how I want it, I'm going to go and download it as a PDF file. Now, as you probably know, I use System.io for running my entire business, from emails to sales pages to checkout pages to hosting my courses and memberships, my website, my blog, everything. You name it, and I use System.io for it. But when it comes to hosting ebooks, I just simply host those in Google Drive. I just find it to be a lot easier. So once I've exported that ebook as a PDF, I'm going to host it as Google Drive and grab the share link. So that way I can set up my checkout page. So that way when someone buys, they're automatically sent an email with the share link. And of course, I use System.io for the checkout page, the automated emails, and all of that. And if you want to use the same software that I use to run my digital info products business, which I believe to be the best software out there right now and the best price, go in the link in the description below this video, and you can actually get your hands on a totally free System.io account in the link in the description below this video. All right, so once your ebook is made, you are ready to sell your ebook. Yay! Now I know there's a ton of people out there talking about selling on Amazon and Etsy and Shopify, but personally, I have only seen 6-figure and 7-figure digital info product creators making those numbers because they are selling them to their own audience. They are selling them on their own website using something like System.io. They're not relying on another source of traffic. They're not paying things like Etsy fees or Amazon listing fees. They are growing their own following and helping their own following deeper by selling the digital products to their own following. Now I know it can be scary because you're like, Molly, this is easy for you because you have an audience. Yeah, I do to now, but I didn't. In fact, with my first education business for photographers, I had to grow that following from scratch. And when I pivoted to helping creators monetize with digital info products, I had to start from scratch again because it's a totally different audience. So I'm actually relatively new to YouTube, and trust me, we all start from scratch. None of us are born with an audience unless maybe you're the Kardashians, but you're not going to be born with an audience. Anyone can grow an audience, and I know you can too. And here's the thing, business becomes really easy when you just grow your own following. I see this happen all the time. People are scrambling to make sales. They're looking for partnerships. They're looking for ads. They're looking for quick fixes. Don't look for the quick fix. Put in the time and effort to grow your following, and your business will be easy because you'll have that following of people that are already ready to buy what you have. Put in that work up front so that you can have that ease in your business for years to come. Now, what I do for selling ebooks is I put out 1 to 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel consistently. In those videos, I mention freebies. In fact, I've done it in this video a few different times. Then what happens is once you download one of those freebies, on the thank you page, it's going to say, hey, thank you so much for downloading this freebie. You might also be interested in learning more from this digital product. And it gives you the option to purchase my ebook. Now, a lot of people ask me, why don't you just sell right away? Why don't you just say in your videos, go buy my ebook? First of all, I don't think that's the best marketing practice. I think it's better to grow a relationship with your audience and give a few times before you start asking for a sale. So I'm delivering, multiple free videos every single week. I'm delivering multiple freebies. I'm delivering more free nurture content in my emails, even before I'm asking for just $59 for an ebook. And I feel like this creates a lot of rapport and trust and relationship before you're just like, buy. Nobody wants to just be sold to. You have to actually build that know, like, and trust factor before they trust you enough to hit that buy button. And the other reason I do this and get people on my email list first is because email is 40 times more effective at making sales than social media alone. So that's why I really go for the strategy of value, and moving people from social media to your email list. Now, in addition to selling on the thank you pages, which is one of my number one sources of making sales, I do also have a welcome email series, which has 5 emails over 5 days, which tells my story and builds a deeper relationship with the reader. And then at the end, it mentions where they can purchase the next thing. Right now, it's my ebook. And lastly, I do link to my ebook on different various social media platforms. I did have for a while my ebook linked directly in the description below my videos. I actually took that away. I don't do that anymore. I'm really trying to deepen that relationship before I go and ask for the sale. But if you're on Instagram or something like that, that can be a great way to go about getting more sales for your ebook as well. And now that you know how to create and sell your very own ebook in 24 hours or less, you might be interested in how to do this for a workshop. Maybe a workshop is more your speed, but how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be twice as powerful. See you in the next video.